What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Dante here, back with another Digimon Market Watch. We got a few things to go over today. Of course, this is post podcast, so we're talking about the DigiFest and Worlds and yada yada yada. Believe it or not, we still seeing things dropping. We seeing some things probably stabilizing. So without further ado, go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe. You already know. We'll get right up into it with the flagship of the channel, Alphamon. Alphamon is sitting at a cool $28, $29. It's gonna be pushing that $30 mark if you want play sets of this thing. You're paying premium. If you want to play Alphamon, you're seeing the hype, you're gonna pay premium. I've been on his Alphamon kit since he was, $14, $15 secret. I said, get him now. Get him now. And they've been steady going up. And now that everybody's been seeing all the support, how good it is. Now, Alphamon is now almost a $30 secret. If you're not going to play Alphamons, I think go ahead and just sell it off now. I don't think a lot of people are going to be sitting there and, trying to make too big of a profit off of it. But the people who wanted to play the deck originally is going to play it, regardless. Nothing else to say about that one. Omnimon Alternate, you're seeing here, someone went ahead and bought that $600 that $700 one. Somebody just bought it, reposted it. It's back up to $900. Like I said, get one for anywhere between $8 to $1,000. Get it graded 9 or 10. Put it to the side for the next 10 years. Hey, that's all it's about. Now I want to talk about two of the other Omnimon. So Omnimon from BT1 and Omnimon in the Blitz Omnimon. Both are seeing some weird things happening to them. And I want to bring them both up for the simple fact of I think the metagame has shifted dramatically. I believe I said this in another video that level 7s in the game currently, the way it's being played, are not necessary. And it's almost like one of those things to where back in BT 1 through 4, you needed level 7s. BT5, everybody played the Omnimon. BT6, Agumon, Gabumon with level 7s. But it got to the point to where when the hybrids came out, when BT7 start, becoming the meta, level 7s totally just fell off the map. Unless your level 7 is specific towards his archetype, or does a specific thing that you want to do, or you're playing a super duper heavy hybrid build, and you want to throw in 1 or 2 Susanomon, level 7s are not seeing a good time right now whatsoever. I think we're reverting back to, like I was saying, the BT1 1.5 format to where everybody played 6 to 8 level 6s, because the level 7s really are just like the icing on the cake. They're a one more card, or they're a super situational card. And with everything being so efficient when it comes to memory game, giving your opponent 4, 5, 6 memory for their turn, on top of memory boost, on top of tamers that give them memory for obligatory reasons, like your opponent has 2 or more Digimon, gain 2 memory. Your opponent has Digimon with no Digivolution sources, gain 2 memory. Or when it comes to Davidson Ken in the net set in BT8, you have a blue Digimon gaining memory, you have a green one gaining memory. So it's one of those things where it's not the typical memory tamers, and they just stack memory rather than set the memory gauge. And you see here, the Omnimon has been doing nothing but going down in price. The last time I saw this card about 2-3 weeks ago, just scrolling through, it was about a $10 or $12 card. And you can just see that it's been under $10 for, probably pushing about 2 months now. People just getting rid of it left and right. And it's just like, it's one of those things to where, Red used to play this a lot. Red really didn't have too many options that had Blitz. But now that we have a tamer coming pretty soon, next couple of sets that gives a Red Digimon Blitz, and then we have, just other, Blitz heavy, power heavy Red cards that's out. Hybrids are a thing. Yeah, but level 7 seem to be going obsolete unless it's tailored to your in particular strategy. And like in yellow, you might see people play Valda R because Valda R reduces DP. You might see people play, I don't play it, but some people are playing like a Millennium Mon in purple. I don't think Millennium Mon is a good, is really good fit for purple now because purple has so much removal. Purple is highly aggressive now. It's not controlling anymore. Like back when I was, topping and winning tournaments with Lilith Mon before the loop. Like it's not controlling no more. It's very hyper aggressive now. But yeah, like if you want to just stack up on some like generic level 7s like the Omni Mods, this is probably the time to do so. 100%. If you want to pick you up a couple of these SR Omni Mods, if you want to pick you up a couple of the Alta S's, which is probably the most playable Omnimon right now out of the bunch, just in my personal opinion, with red and black being, relevant colors, just, having that ability to just have them just in case they creep back into the meta and then they start to go up and spike because there are Omnimons, just to have, one or two of them just to hold to the side. I said this is probably the perfect time to do so. They are crashing. Newest Mon Event Pack 2. Now, usually I don't do event packs. I don't do like exclusive promos or usually don't do like tamer packs or stuff like that. Why? Okay, why? Why Poindexter? Why? Well, because it's not really readily accessible to a lot of people. Now, the event pack 2s were one of them things to where a lot of people was like, well, how do I get this? And if I'm not mistaken, it was you had to pull it. I want to say you had to pull it out of the special pass when it came to the store championships around BT4, if I'm not mistaken. Could be dead wrong. It could have been something like a entry price. But at one point in time, this thing was $75. So you're seeing here, everybody's pretty much just like, yo, let me undercut this. It was $75 2 weeks ago because I wanted one. I won one and I looked it up and it was $75. I was like, ooh. Yeah, I want to play a Newest Mon. The artwork looks freaking amazing. I think a Newest Mon is probably one of the better purple over 6s in my opinion. As of right now, easily top 3 between Titanimon, Lilithmon, and Newest Mon is probably my top 3. I personally don't like the Cherubimon playstyle or the not Lilithmon, but the Lucimon playstyle. It's just not really my thing right now. I know how to play with them. It's just not my cup of tea. Just how it is. But yeah, like I want the artwork. I wanted to put 3. I want to buy 3 or 4. I was like, okay, they're like 25, 30s. I go ahead and pick up a play set. No, that was 75s. And now that I believe this has been announced to be part of the entry packs for the I believe it's the OT Cup that's coming here in the summertime. A lot of people has been jumping ship on this. Like they've been just like, let me just get rid of it because it's going to do nothing but go down. And you see right here, like, the foil version, they call it the foil version, but the foil version is like $80. But the medium price of the foil version is like, 60. Yeah, it was high. So just watch out for cards like this, like in the event packs. If you have event pack cards you just sitting on, and you think they might you're not trying to move them, or you're trying to sell them before they might get re-released or re-waived. Always keep an ear to all the tournaments, the entry price for the tournaments, the main price for the tournaments, because they always tell us weeks and sometimes months ahead of time, so you can move them before you get caught and actually take a hit when it comes to it. Analog Boy Halton Art is down to that $85 mark. It is down from that $100 mark that it was 2-3 weeks ago. It's not worth the price. Do not pay for alternate art Analog Boys. People are starting to see the Analog Boy unless it comes to like there's just a hyper mill deck, like maybe a My Oldest Mind deck would actually work perfect with Analog Boy. But as we get more and more support, and a lot of these white cards, especially the white option cards, only require a tamer in order to use, in order its color requirements, rather than having a white tamer out. Analog Boy really is getting less and less play. When it comes to like the meta scene, the competitive scene, I'm sure you can do whatever you want casually or have fun with it. Like, it's not a bad card whatsoever. It's it's just one of them things to where now that blue card is pretty much on the horizon in EXO2. So after BTA comes EXO2, and blue card is a better Analog Boy in a sense, to where you can play it for 3, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and digivolve a Digimon onto digivolve a proper Digimon. So basically, if say you have a level 4 purple and you hit a level 5 purple, you can digivolve from right there from the top 5 to that Digimon, paying a Digivolution paying a Digivolution cost. Or you can add one of those Digimon. So it's way more flexible to play blue card than play Analog Boy. Because outside looking at the top 3, Analog Boy really doesn't do anything unless you build a stack and it gets deleted. But even then, it doesn't really promote you as well. Like, sure, you gain a memory, but it's one of the things to where it's like, okay, yeah, I gain a memory, I hatch if it's nothing in my nursery, so I hatch one. But unless you're optimizing this with Mimi, to where it hatches and then you digivolve on top of it, Mimi, and promote it, it's one of the things to where it's like, So you've seen the price of this fall. I wouldn't be surprised if the price of this hit, $45-$50 by, the summertime. I wouldn't be surprised. Hammer Spark is sitting at $5 right now. This is one of them cards that actually took a nice bump up because blue is so dominant in the meta. The only way to get Hammer Sparks is structure decks. That's it. That's the only way to get Hammer Sparks. The starter deck 2, Kakai's blue. You get Hammer Sparks in there. I believe it's 4 and 1. I believe. Don't quote me on it. It's been a while since I bought some things. And the All Force Vidramon also has Hammer Sparks. Different art, and they both cost the same. But the blue actually is $1 more than the All Force one, because the All Force one was pushed out more, and it's more quantities of the All Force Vidramon structure deck than it is of the starter deck blue. And that's just because of the whole allegation thing, and we was going through the whole, COVID thing and all that kind of stuff. But and as you can see right here on the screen, let's go off topic for a little bit. Let's see what the boy Davis is doing. Davis is sitting at about 16, 17. Davis is starting to go back up. A lot of people are really seeing blue as like that big color, and I agree. Blue is like the de facto best color. So if anybody was to come in and say, "Yo, I want to play meta," well, go play blue. Somebody wants like come in like, "Well, I like blue, but I don't want to play meta." Well, you got other options. You got Hexablow, you got Ancient Mammoth, whatever it is. You got Waymon Control, which by the way, I did a deck profile on that. It actually slaps. You have stuff like Zudomon. You can play not Zudomon, but Vikemon. You can play Vikemon Control. You like this, like you can play Magna Garurumon. You can play Ancient Garurumon. Like there's just so many. So every color has so many avenues that you can use and go down that you don't have to be stuck to that in particular. Oh, this is top tier of this color type of thing. So Davidson at 16, 17s, on push at 18s. Um, the Masterminds that got released in English version. We don't know if there's any promos. I think the rumor about about the Tamers possibly getting reprinted and those short decks may be false. So I just want to give you an update on that. There was a huge big push for that, huge big rumor about that, but I think that was proven to be false. And I mean, we don't know until the first English structure set gets over here and we crack it open, because they can do whatever they want before it's pushed out. Simple. Like, it's not like we're, what is it? Today's date is April 6th. So we have an entire month before, any of this stuff hits the shores and hits, retailers and vendors for them to actually open up and see exactly what it is inside of it. So yeah, if you don't have Davidson's now, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to pay this $15 price. I really don't know when they're going to reprint this. It was a good idea to maybe have them in these starter decks because of the blue green and the Mastermind purple yellow. But we'll see. We'll see what Bandai wants to do with them. Durum alternate arts pushing $60. It's just insane. It's insane that this card is now $60. This card will go up as far as the Alphamon hype would carry it. This Alphamon secret, regular art, Alphamon alternate art, those three are 100% going to always go up, especially the more support Alphamon get, because they're concrete and cemented into the deck and how the deck is structured. You play 4 Durumons. Next set, you play 4 Alphamons. The set, come BT9, you definitely play 4 Alphamons. You play 4 Durumons. You play like Cool Boy, and you play all the other, it's gonna be a pure black X antibody deck. So yeah, this is only gonna just go up from here. It might cool off to see about $50 price point, 48 to 50 at the lowest, but I don't think it's cooling off, to be honest with you. I don't think it's cooling off. Beelzemon alternate art is sitting at about $54, $55. This alternate art, I remember which alternate art was about $20. And I picked it up for $17. And I still have it right next to me, sitting next to me, and now it's almost $55. If I wasn't collecting alternate arts, I would have sold this right now. So if you're not playing Beelzemon Blast Mode coming out in the EXO2, if you're not playing that Beelzemon deck, get rid of it now. Get rid of this now. Get rid of it now. You can gamble and say, it might go to 60. Okay. But I'm telling you, get rid of this now. Ancient Greymon, it seems like it's cooling down a little bit. The alternate art is sitting at a cool $43, $44. If you knew the alternate art was like $54, $55 at one point in time. It was a couple weeks ago. A lot of people was actually disappointed in it for its performance when it came to the DigiFest. Just the pure dominance of purple and blue, with was sprinkled black, 1 or 2 shinings of green, yellow, and black, Yeah, with green, yellow, black. We know a couple of sprinkles of shiny there. People are like, it was a flash of red, but it really was dominated by blue and purple. Yeah, a lot of people are like, man, this may not keep up. I still like Tribal Greymon or Greymon Hybrid. I still like this deck. It slaps hard. I do think Emperor Greymon is probably the way to go, but it takes Emperor Greymon a little bit too long to set up. So if you're playing Emperor Greymon, think about playing potentially Analog Boys and your Ancient Greymon deck just to get some of the pieces to the graveyard, to the trash, not graveyard, but trash, to help fuel that um oh my gosh, Space Entertainment's name. I think it's not I don't think it's Takoya. I think Takoya is Guildmon's Tamer. I cannot remember Ancient Greymon Tamer, but forgive me for that one. I'm blanking right now. But just to get that off and be able to, pretty much warp Digivolve into, Emperor Greymon, get all those Digivolution sources, all that kind of stuff. It's still a good deck. I think it really just falling off, favorability with some people. If you're diehard, a red player, you love this deck, you love this card, you're gonna play it. Very simple as that. Holland Memory Boost pre-release is going up. It is at a $22 price point. I believe it was about a month ago when I last just glanced over this pre-release. It was sitting at 15, with the resurgence of blue being the dominant color. This card spiked up to 22, 23. Holland Memory Boost is just dumb. Holland Memory Boost with Tommy and Corey Kakumon, like, man, they can stall you out. And speaking of blue, Strawbymon. Strawbymon alternate art has dropped a little bit. It was a $20 card a couple weeks ago. You see that it's steadily declining here on the price history. People just like, this Strawbymon is good, but with Suzanomon, with people not really playing Suzanomon, and with the other Strawbymon being able to hit Tamers and hybrids, even though it's top 3 instead of top 4, it's a little bit better in a lot of people's opinions. You can play both. If you're playing a blue hybrid deck, I would play both. 100%. I would play both. Because if you're playing this Strawbymon, you might as well play Koji. You might as well play Managurumon. Like, you might as well play Corey Kakumon. Might as well play Tommy. Might as well play all the good cards in blue. Simple. So, a lot of people are kind of falling out of favor of this card, so they're just trying to dump this card off. I think the card is good. It's probably, at a decent price point. It might go down a couple of bucks. It might go back up another $5. But this is probably, if you want to pick it up, go ahead and do so now. Now, I got a couple of penny stomps that I've been looking at that I think a lot of people, if you want to pick them up, pick them up. If you want to play the deck and bling it out, this is the perfect time to do so. All Force Vidramon alternate art and Leopardmon alternate art. Now, a lot of people are like, well, okay, I get the All Force Vidramon because of, the structure deck and more support and even more support coming out and, all that good stuff. Yes, but a lot of people are going to be confused about the Leopardmon. I'll get to that in a second. Now, when it comes to the All Force alternate art, you're seeing here that it's about $12. That's not bad for alternate art, especially alternate art when, this was, a $20, $25 alternate art back in the day. This alternate art is nice. The release special boosters, like 1.0, 1.5 will be the first Digimon sets to stop being printed. This is how it goes. It goes in chronological order. So, if you don't have alternate arts of these older SRs or secrets, and they're at a good value, pick them up now, because down the line when they make more support or legacy support for like older cards, like how we saw Bit Black Blockers get more support at EXO2, after BTA is done and people looking at EXO2 and seeing the support in there, you don't see all that 1.0, 1.5, Black War, Gray Mine, that alternate art is going to go up. It's going to probably go up to like a $40, $50 card because of the hype behind it. It's all about catching the wave, selling high, buying low. So if you want to play All Force, definitely this is probably the better All Force in my opinion. I don't like the structure deck. All Force is more of a blah. It's just pretty generic across the board. It's like, yeah, now unsuspend again. This one you can unsuspend as many times as you want, as long as you tap, as long as a tamer is suspended. Simple as that. But yeah, like just pick it up. And then Leopard Mine. I said penny stock for this alternate art. And a lot of people are like, well, why? Well, there's a art type coming out. And this is my, this is my laboratory brain. The boy Dexter's talking to you right now. This is my, penny stock to look out for. There's an art type coming out called Armor Release. And all the Armor Release cards are level 4. So having a big bad baddie boss monster like a Leopard Mine that gives that when you digivolve, you play your level 4, so you play like your armor release from underneath it, or you can play like the level 3 to then go into the armor release on top of it, like a Magnamon. But then being able to give all level 4 or lower jamming, regardless of what color and regardless of what type or attribute or whatever, it gives all level 4 lower jamming, to where now your armor releases would just be a backup plan and you can jam through a lot of that stuff. Like say you hit say you got a Leopardmon on board and you're attacking with a Magnamon, and Magnamon hits, a Dorgoromon. Magnamon would then have to, if it wasn't for Leopardmon, it would have to pop itself and then suspend the Vmon underneath it. In this case, with Leopardmon, it jams right through and you keep your Magnamon. So if they try to counter you by running and by slamming into your suspended Digimon, Armor Release then pops off and now you keep the Digimon and they wasting an attack. So it's one of those things to where it's complementary to the Armor Release art type without being part of the art type. Just a little tidbit, something that you can play around with. You can probably throw 2 up into the deck. The Armor Release deck is very, very flexible. It probably is going to have a guaranteed 25 to maybe 30 cards within the deck. And then you can flex how you want to with the rest of the deck. To put your ratios up in there, the whole entire 9. So it's going to be a very flexible art type, especially if we don't have sideboard. It's one of those decks to where you can turn around and say, oh, it's a lot more purple, it's a lot more of this, I'm going to put these in, I'm going to play these in the main board, yada, yada, yada. So just keep an eye on the Leopardmon. If you go ahead and try it out. I've been thinking about it, been theory crafting about it, and it can definitely work. It digivolves off of blue, and you can literally play a couple of vanilla, blue Digimon to digivolve into. Like any cheap Digivolution that you're like, oh, there's a level 5 that digivolves for 2. Okay, I'm gonna play that. Play the Leopardmon. Leopardmon gives me my level 3 back unsuspended. And then, and it's blue, so it gains so much memory. You got Hammer Sparks, and, got Ice Wall for the defensive. And you got all this other, memory generation when it comes to blue, that it really doesn't matter. You can throw text like this in there and see how viable it is. And right now, it's only sitting at about $10 to $11. I would say probably pick up a couple of these and test it out if you really want to. I mean, it's not that big of an investment. $20 to get you these and probably the common level 5 that you need, or uncommon level 5 that you need to go ahead and throw into the Armor Release deck. But just something to have just in case it does get to the point to where, yellow might get really, really good and you can't keep on slamming your Armor Releases into security. And because it's too much, it's too much of a headache, and it's not efficient enough. then you have this. Now you can slam into the security without having to pop your armor release. Yeah, just something to go ahead and think about on that one. And then Upamon. Upamon is most likely going to be played in armor release. Upamon is just too good of a card. So if you got Upamons lying around, I'll probably hold on to them. It might go back up to a $10 card. If you want to get rid of them now, I don't blame you. But I don't think Upamon's getting reprinted anytime soon because Upamon already got its alternate art version, and this is the lowest rarity. So therefore, this is going to be the one that's probably going to fluctuate a little bit more in price. The other Upamon is, you know, that one's probably going to retain most of the price. Most of its price if any reprint does happen. So that's today's market watch. Let me know what you think about that. You know, let me know if there is any cards that you want me to keep an eye on the next week. See how it fluctuates. I know there was some new Diaboromon stuff. I'm going to wait until next week to go ahead and see how the Diaboromon promos and stuff, how they affect that portion of the market. You know, but with that being said, I'm your boy Dante. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.